Hey, what's up? It's Kit. It's time for another video. The dogs are quiet, no planes around, buzzing overhead and stuff, so this topic might not be important. Just saying. Alright, so those guys that are new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. This channel talks about the hows and whys of fishing. We cover everything from big game, ultralight, everything in the middle, including fly fishing. And I wanted to tie some assist hooks while I'm doing this, but I didn't want to get distracted, and I want this to be as brief as possible. All right, so I wanted to have a chat with you guys, and normally I would do this on a live stream, but you know, I don't know what you guys are doing. Probably most of the people that are in the audience, okay, at least the subscribers, I think majority are from the US, so I would think that it's a Monday. Tuesday now, actually, and everyone or almost everyone's going to be at work, so you know, it's better to actually, instead of going live, it's better to just record it, because most of the time when I go live, I don't publish it after. Okay. Yeah, so topic of today would be 5 things to improve if you want to consistently catch fish. All right. Actually, this could be something that you're already this is a journey that you could already be on. You don't know, but these are 5 things that actually, there's more. Okay, there's really more. It's just that I think that these are 5 most important things, 5 of the most important things I could think of that really made a difference in my fishing. And at the end of this, you'll see, because whether you agree or not, just put them down in the comment section. But these are things that I see a lot of people actually kind of don't realize. All right, so that's that. Now, let's go ahead and start this. All right, so number 5. So I'm going from 5 to 1. All right, so at number 5. And this is my opinion, by the way, okay? So if you disagree with me, fine, you know, write it down in the comment section so that we can discuss, all right? But I mean, for me, the process of discovery for this was actually kind of big, you know. And these are things that I realized that I was like, holy crap! If only I've actually learned this when I was younger, could have been better. And then, you know, kind of the journey could have been a bit more structured, and who knows, I mean, maybe I would have been at you know, whatever stage I was at a particular time earlier, you know. But yeah, hopefully after sharing this with you guys, you would realize and actually improve. All right, so first and foremost, number 5, understand your gear. Okay, understand your gear. And I know sometimes it's a lot to ask for, because we have different budgets, we have different ways, and we allocate time and effort onto this thing. But at the end of the day, whether your gear sucks or not, you understanding your gear is very important. You cannot ask your gear to do something that it's not designed for. It'll break and you end up with nothing. Okay? You can't ask for your hand line to reach a really far distance, because there's a limit to how much you can throw a hand line. Understanding your gear is not only about, you know, oh, I know how to use a rod, I know how to use a reel, I know what the line does, here's a hook, it hooks fish. All right, so each and every single rod or reel has its nuances, okay? When you buy a reel, don't just pick one up because it looks cool. Don't just pick one up because you see that it has a price that you can afford. You have to know exactly what you want to do with it. Okay, so you cannot say, hey, I saw a Japanese guy fishing with an XG, okay, with a super fast reel, and he's jigging with it. All right? I mean, these brands right now are so notorious for misleading people just to buy their products. It's unbelievable. Okay? I see people say that, oh, I'm fast jigging with an XG. Why would you want to do that to yourself? It's like riding a bike on high gear going uphill. Fast jigging on that gets you really tired. All right? So, understand what the acronyms actually mean. XG, HG, PG, and then, depending on your type of fishing, you are then able to kind of decide on which speed you want to get. Like, take for example, if you're fishing for sharks, stingrays on the beach using really long surf rods, okay, like the South Africans do it, it might be practical for you to be using a PG reel because you need that torque. Remember, you're fishing with a 15-foot rod, let's say a 15-foot rod, and their reel is all the way on the bottom. Their rods are different. And when they pull, that whole rod is against them, the leverage. Okay, and you're dealing with fish that are super big. So what happens is that if you have an XG, you're gonna have a miserable time and you'll end up hating yourself. Okay? XG might not be the right reel for that. Okay? Might not be the right reel. A PG would be more practical because you have more torque. So you could just pull and it's not gonna really hurt you, and your fishing experience, of course, is better. So understanding your gear is very, very important. Using the right gear at the right time helps you not only catch fish, but also just kind of, helps your body last longer, really, for a fishing trip. Otherwise, it's gonna give you a miserable time. All right, so understanding gear, and this encompasses everything: rods, reels, lines, lures, and all that. So all of these, actually, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Always ask why. Okay, that's the all-encompassing thing. All right. Now, gear. Okay, so understand your gear and take the time. Really, take the time to do some research. Very, very important. Okay, number 4. A lot of people go on trips and they don't really do a lot of forethought. Kind of random, really. Or they just look at their calendar and say, like, okay, I wanna go on this trip this day and stuff like that, and then it's a full moon. So fishing would be difficult. Obviously, if you know what you're doing, you could go whenever the heck you want, and you'd still produce fish. The problem is there are times when you schedule a trip and it's a slack tide, no movement in the water. Okay, now if you're a pure slow jigging fisherman, guess what? These would be the times when you kind of know exactly what you're supposed to do. All right, but I see a lot of people position themselves in fishing trips and it's quite random without a lot of forethought, and they go back empty-handed and they think that the charter did them wrong. But actually, the charter would always say yes to customers. They're not gonna turn you away, and they're gonna bust their ass and they're gonna do their best to actually take you to places where they know the fish were biting the previous day, or they will do their best, because most of these guys, they also want you to have a good time because their business relies on repeat customers. So you have to understand, the problem is you were the one who actually chose the date. Okay? So go on trips that give you the best shots. As simple as that. Choose the new moon, the ones with good tides, the ones with good current. Choose the best captains, even if they're kind of expensive and all that. Uh, do your homework. See exactly what's biting there, what's biting now. Okay? Do a comparative study of what happened last year and the weeks and the days before your trip, before you schedule your trip. So, yeah, I know that it's easy for someone that, that can choose whenever he can go because he controls his time, but that's just it. It should be more important for people that cannot choose when they go out because, dude, you can't go out as often as you want, and you want each and every single time to be good when you go out. That's it. So a lot of people either, they don't have buddies to go with or for whatever reason. Okay, you're setting yourself up for failure if you don't plan. Okay, so always plan to go on trips that give you the best shots. That's it, irregardless of what fish. All right, that's it. Always set yourself up for those trips. Read up on weather patterns, how it affects conditions, the fishing conditions, temperatures. Okay, there are a lot of tools online where you could view the currents in a particular time, particular month. There's satellite data you can study and all that. View catch reports if you're going on a boat. If you're going on a charter, go to their Facebook page, always call them, make friends with the captain, and then, kind of get information from him, ask a lot of questions. That's it. Set yourself up for success and go on trips that give you the best shots. That's it. It's just as simple as that. All right. So that was number 4. Number 3, location, location, location. All right. Let's just say you are free to go wherever you're going to. Okay? You have a boat. You don't have spots. Guess what? It's so difficult to find where the fish are. Especially, you have a new boat, you're excited to go out there, and you think that you could just go out and catch fish? No. 90% of the fishing is actually looking for the fish. So location is very important. And then another thing, all right? A lot of people are assuming that, hey, I'm out here, I'm gonna catch this fish. Guess what? If you're in a pond and you want to catch marlin, it's not gonna happen. Okay? So a lot of and I know it's impossible, and I know that, but this is a very good example. Okay, a lot of people are going out with the expectation that they're gonna catch something big, or something big, something nice, whatever. But a lot of these people actually don't do the work of actually looking for places and fishing these places properly to catch the fish that they want to catch. So you have to do your homework, and majority of this whole fishing game is location. Okay, and you have to go out there and do your work. You have to go out there and especially if you have a kayak, you have a boat, you have a skiff, or even a float tube, or even if you're fishing from shore. Okay, you have to do the homework to find the spots. I'm not telling you to go out there, look for people that are fishing the shoreline or fishing a spot on a boat and stuff, and then you just watch them go to where they were fishing, mark it, and that's a dick move. I know a lot of people that do that, but yeah, don't do that. That's not cool. Take care of your locations. Leave it better than when you found it. That's 1. Okay. 2, don't go to a place looking for something and it's not there. Okay? That's you know, a lot of people are saying like, okay, this place has kingfish, I'm gonna fish this area, and then it's the beach. 90% of the time, the fish that you're looking for, the kingfish, is not gonna be there. They're near rocks and stuff, you know. So a lot of people are going to locations looking for fish that are not there, and that spells failure. Now, if you're catching fish in an area where they shouldn't be, like take for example, you're on a sand flat, and you know, there are places on earth that actually have marlin swimming in them, not in Abu Dhabi though, you know. So when you catch a let's say a sailfish on a sand flat very deep inside an estuary, that's called luck. And if it happens, good for you, you're lucky, great, you know, get on with your life after that. Don't come back to the same place expect that it's gonna happen again. Chances are it's not, you know. So majority of the time, when you do find a place that's really good, protect that, you know. You can call your trusted buddies and stuff and fish that place, take care of the place. And if lightning strikes twice and you're able to catch another, you know, a marlin next time, hey, great. But yeah, most of the people are actually fishing in places where the fish aren't there, or the fish that you're after. So when that happens, let's say you're going to the spot, you're fishing, there's no fish. You go again on a better tide again, you know, give yourself the go on trips that give you the best shots. Remember, so you're going to the spot once, okay, good tide, good moon, no fish. Second time, give it a shot again, nothing. Third time, move, go somewhere else, you know. Set yourself up for what do you call this, for success, instead of actually going there and your chances of catching actually small, you know. Even if you caught a sailfish there by luck before, you know, if it doesn't produce, just go, you know. So yeah. All right, so second thing, that number 2. All right, so that was 3. So 3 is location, location, location. 2, learn the basic habits of your catch. Learn the basic habits of your target. Okay, whatever fish it may be, it's probably a good idea to read up a few about the habits of the fish. Like take for example, if you're after snapper, they're usually in places where there's structure, rocks, coral, pilings, and all that. Barracuda are the same, but they're higher up in the water column. Groupers would be close to the bottom. Snappers would be somewhere in between. Kingfish would be mixed in with the barracuda or higher. And then, you know, you have needlefish on top and baitfish as well on top and near the structure. And they're usually the ones that are thick. Very good fishermen actually have at least a very basic idea of what these fish, a snapper, a grouper, barracuda, kingfish, they would have at least a very basic knowledge of what they eat, where they are in the water column, best time to target them, and what presentation to use to target each fish. So you have to have at least a what do you call this, a basic idea of the habits of these fish. If you're after a grouper, they eat on the bottom. Guess what? Don't use a float. Don't use floating lures. Don't use suspending lures. Use bait that you present on or near the bottom. Use lures that either dive deep or that stay on the bottom, sinking baits, sinking lures, okay? Stuff like that. And you can't just rely on luck, okay? Learn the basic habits of your target. It's as simple as that. And, you know, learning this, actually, it could almost double your catch overnight. That's it. And this is the key to actually targeting specific species. Okay, so like take for example, if I'm going after grouper, more than likely all I'm gonna catch is grouper. You know, it's either I'm gonna catch grouper or I don't catch them at all. Again, if I'm in the right location, I use the right gear, okay, and I go at the right time, guess what? I know the habit of this fish, and it's very easy for me to pull a grouper out. That's it, okay? These go hand in hand. And the fifth one is a very, very important one. You are the problem, okay? You are your worst enemy. And thinking that you know what you're doing, 90% of the time could spell disaster. Okay? Now, there are a lot of people who think they know what they're doing, even going as far as calling themselves professional. Okay? But you're your worst enemy, really. You know, right when you're thinking that you think you know what you're doing, and you're not opening yourself up to learning, that's going to cause you problems. This is the very thing that I believe prohibits growth in people. You are your worst enemy, unfortunately. Okay? If you're not open-minded and you're not the type of person that wants to learn from others, and if you really think that you know everything, oh boy, you're in for a lot of good times ahead. Okay, I know a lot of people that think they're born perfect. Okay, and every single thing that happens, they blame on the gear, they blame on the captain, they blame on the weather, they blame on the location, they blame everything else except for themselves. Okay, and if you're one of them, if you're one of these people, guess what? Unsubscribe right now, please. Do yourself and do me a favor. Unsubscribe right now, because man, these types of people, I think, are really the worst, because you can't teach them. They don't want to learn too, and they always think they're right. I'm not saying that I'm right. Okay, like you, I'm learning. Okay, but this is also the reason why I can learn fast, because I can self-correct. Whenever I do something and I realize that, hey, there's something wrong here, I need to change something, the very first thing I do is actually like go back to like my methodology and see exactly what I've done wrong. I am I could ask people. I have like a group of friends that are very, very experienced. I have friends and I know people that are definitely better fishermen than I am. And I can ask them. And guess what? When I ask them, listen, if I ask a question and I get an answer, I don't deny their answer. And that's the biggest thing that I see a lot of people do, because once they get an answer and they don't like what they hear, they immediately go defensive and shit like, oh, no, he's wrong. You're the one asking questions. You know, so if someone actually gives you an answer, pay attention to that answer. Look at exactly what the person is trying to say. Okay? Make sure you're on the same page. And then look at your methods, look at what you've done, and then really just, internalize and say like, okay, I need to change something. Now remember, understanding your gear has a lot to do with you. If you think you know everything, okay, you're the one who controls when and where you're going on trips, okay? You're the one to decide on the location and how you to deal with the location. And you are the one who decides whether you want to learn or not. this is why, for me, this is number one. And a lot of people are actually missing that. And this is the whole reason why, more than likely, you won't be able to learn those four because of this. You are the problem. All right, so yeah, that's it for now. if you want to discuss further, drop it down in the comment section. If you learned from this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want your friends to learn, share it. And if you haven't yet and you want to learn more, click on subscribe, especially if you're new. Alrighty, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Class dismissed.